Hey everybody, this is Yvonne and Dexter here with Freight Broker Chics. And so welcome back, you guys. We just really thank you for tuning in. We appreciate it. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Also, I really want to take just a second to thank you guys. You've been, even whether it was LinkedIn or any of the other social media, Instagram outlets that you guys have really been commenting and telling me how much you guys really appreciate Dexter, appreciate his training. Some of you are already, successful brokers, and you're saying how much his training in videos have been a blessing to you. So we just want to take a second to say thank you for that. And so again, I have got the master trainer here with me. Yay! And we're going to talk about something today that's been in the news, and for those of us that are in logistics, in any aspect of the business, you've heard of the story. It's been on CNN, and so Dexter's going to come on, again, being a truck driver and in the industry for over 20 years. He's just going to share his thoughts on the tragic accident that happened and what is, there's a lot of buzz going on about it. We just wanted to say, our condolences to the family. Many families were destroyed, even the young man who has been sentenced to 110 years in prison. So his life, so all those families' lives. But I'm going to let him share from his heart what he wants to share with you today regarding the issue.
What we're discussing is the truck driver that was recently sentenced to 110 years in prison for an accident where 4 people lost their lives in a fiery accident where they felt that he did not handle the situation correctly. He had a chance to take 2 runaway ramps when he said that his air brakes failed, and he did not take those ramps and basically ran into a group of cars that were going slower, or even I think it might have been a construction zone or something of the nature, and people were killed. So there's been a national outcry about the 110 years.
Boycotts.
There have been boycotts. There's been supposedly some drivers are refusing to deliver in Denver. Over 3 million people signed a petition for clemency or to have his sentence reduced.
Sentence reduced, correct. Or reviewed, or
or retrial or something like that. Anyway, needless to say that as long as you have big trucks and cars operating in the same space on America's highways, there's going to be tragic events that happen as far as accidents. That's the horrible truth about just how life goes. I mean, you always are going to have human error playing a part in things, and then mechanical failure, because anything that man builds is not perfect. Only God builds perfect things. So everything is prone to break down. So unfortunately, it seems like it was just a very sad,
very sad.
Sad. So it was events all happening at the same time, with him coming down a hill, gaining speed, air brakes going out,
and nobody could stop at 85 miles an hour.
No, exactly. So
a huge truck or not.
Right, exactly. So it's just like, but 110 years, that's a lot of years.
Well, I think
that's over a century.
From what the research I did, it was, and I'll go back, and again, this is not judgment. I'm just going to share with you the facts as I researched them. That his attorneys had tried to get him to take a lesser plea, and he refused to do that, and that he was requesting a ticket, and because it was an accident, and he was just saying, which makes sense. Normally, you have an accident, you get a ticket.
Right, but 4 people died.
There
was
right.
There's 4 fatalities.
Unfortunately, they could not convince him to do that, and so the prosecutor was left with the option to go ahead, no other option but to go ahead and prosecute him for the most that they could. Now, I'm not a lawyer, so I may not be using all the proper terms. The second issue that I researched was that when they did his interrogation, he had to have an interpreter there. So clearly his English or comprehension was not well enough to speak and be interrogated without without an interpreter. And so in this industry, I think, we always talk about the driver's skill set and ability, but you do have to be able to read and comprehend well English. And again, I'm not judging. This is just from the research that I did. I can tell you.
Well, no, I mean it's fair to say, because even when we sign contracts with certain companies, they'll say if the driver is picking up the load, must be competent in reading in English language, to be able to pick up this load
Correct.
from our facility. We've gotten calls.
Right, and that has saved
from,
me. Trust me, and I'm
so-
speaking from experience. That has saved me several times. When my client will, or the dispatcher will call me and say they won't load the driver, and I'm like, why? Well, he failed the safety test. So the my client, is conducting safety tests on these drivers because this is their product. They don't want to be sued and be liable if the driver is not competent. And the number one reason for failure is that the driver cannot comprehend or speak English. So he can't take the safety test. He can't pass the safety test, I should say. So would you consider that an industry problem?
I'm saying that the industry has to understand that our industry and the American workforce is made up of immigration. I mean,
Correct.
Immigration has been one of the key things that keeps America a superpower in this day and age. Now, with the current political climate and things of that nature, did this man's sentence, did it have something to play with his race? Did it have something to play with his youth? Did it have, was 110 years, valid? And so for me, I look at it this way. I say, okay, it's 110 years, but by giving somebody 110 years, you're basically sentencing them to death too.
Right.
Because nobody lives 110 years, if they do.
My understanding the minimum was 18 years per death.
Right.
So, and then whatever else the judge added on to that. So when you totaled it up to the 4, I know, and again, I'm just saying that, I'm not saying it was right. I'm just speaking the facts as to why.
If it was honestly found out after they researched and tested his truck that he actually had a honest mechanical failure, though. It's just like it's like that case with the Toyotas when they were speeding up and slamming into people.
Right.
This guy was driving, his Toyota sped up, he hit a family and killed them, and then they found out, they put him in jail for manslaughter or whatever. Then they found out there was a defect with the actual car.
Right.
So I say all that to say this: if there really was a mechanical defect that actually occurred, I do feel that 110 years is a little steep.
He could have gone.
If it was just from him being a horrible truck driver, but he was put in a situation because of an actual mechanical failure. Maybe he did not recognize or know what the runoff ramps were, or couldn't read English or whatever to say.
So would that be part of whoever hired him? Would they not be partly liable?
We have no idea how far this litigation can go. Because I think they've already. I think I saw a newscast that said that the company that he worked for has already been sued, and they're out of business now.
Okay, but they did have some inspection issues.
Well,
I did read that.
Well, yeah.
So again, there's enough blame to go around.
Right.
It's a horrible, horrible, horrible situation. And unfortunately, this young man was assigned this load, picked up the load, and there was obviously no safety test or whatever, and the end was the loss of 4 lives.
I just say that maybe he should get half the sentence, maybe
Okay.
55 years, and his ability to drive trucks be taken away from him. But 110 years, That's a long time.
Right.
Unfortunately, you can't get death from. You can get death from death, but in the end, death is death.
Right.
So,
But you can't just say it, it
right,
was an accident and give me a ticket.
right. No, no. I mean, sometimes I
yeah.
feel sometimes has to be done because there was lives that were lost.
Right.
I just saying that maybe 110 years for a young man like that, he still might have a good life out there. Everybody deserves a second chance, and I mean,
Good, that's a good point. That's
and
a great point.
you do unto others as you would hope people will do unto you. You never know if you might find yourself in a situation where you're throwing yourself on the mercy of people and hoping that they have
Correct.
some type of mercy on you. So sometimes you have to have mercy in your own heart to start that process. But
Great
that's time for a different video. Anyway. Well, thank you very much. I hope
guys,
you'll have happy holidays.
Thank you, and just continue to pray for the young man, and for my understanding that even the families of those that lost loved ones felt that the sentence was a little harsh, and so their kindness and generosity goes a long way as well, and we'll continue to pray for them because they are right here at the holiday. They're going to be without their loved ones. So we thank you again for watching. We hope that just sheds a little light on, our opinion on, again, no judgment. That's left up to the court, the law, and the courts. We just wanted to share with you the importance of everybody taking, being a little bit more responsible, and know that when you're on the road, even us as drivers, when I'm driving, I'm looking out for that 18-wheeler, see if is he coming from my left or my right, is he trying to slow down? And so we can all play a part in keeping us all safe on the road, days going ahead. You guys, thanks again for tuning in. We always appreciate it, and we will see you next time here on Freight Broker Chic. Bye-bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.